welcome. This is ASO TV News. I am Princess Sabra Usman. The headlines. President Bola Tinubu reaffirms commitment to protecting Nigerian children on Children's Day. President Bola Tinubu intervenes as Federal Capital Territory Administration enforces revocation of properties over ground rent. Abaji Area Council Chairman Alhaji Abubakar Umar promises to support the growth of children in Abaji. And federal government commences payment of wage award arrears. President Bola Tinubu will leave Abuja today for Lagos to celebrate, along with other leaders, the 50th anniversary of the Economic Community of West African States. The ECOWAS Golden Jubilee was flagged off in Accra last month. The Lagos events will include reenacting the 1975 declaration at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs in Victoria Island. At the Eco Hotels and Suites event, President Tinubu, the chairman of ECOWAS, will highlight the economic bloc's milestones. Chairman of the NIIA and former Minister of External Affairs, Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, will review the bloc's 50-year journey, which panelists at the NIIA will later analyze. The only surviving head of state who signed the ECOWAS declaration, General Yakubu Gowon, will participate in all the ceremonies and deliver a speech at the Eco Hotels. Dr. Umar Torre, President of ECOWAS Commission, will deliver the welcome address. While in Lagos, President Tinubu will on Saturday, May 31st, commission some projects of the administration. Among them are the Section 1 of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, Lekki DEC Port Tax Credit Concrete Road, the flag-off of Section 2 of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, and the 7th Axial Road. The President will virtually commission Kanu Kanwa Danje Hadejia Section 2 Road and Yakasai Zali Road and the flag-off Kanu Northern Bypass, Zaria Hunkui Dabai Section 1, Dabai Kafur Mulumfasi and the Mulumfasi Dayashe Gedam Mutum Daye Section 3. President Tinubu will observe the Eid al-Kabir prayers at the State House Zodan Barracks before returning to Abuja. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's unwavering commitment to the protection, development, and empowerment of Nigerian children, describing them as the heartbeat of our nation's future. In a heartfelt message to mark this year's Children's Day, the President emphasized the vital role children play in shaping Nigeria's destiny and urged all Nigerians to uphold their constitutional and moral responsibility to safeguard the rights and dreams of every child. This year's Children's Day theme, Stand Up, Speak Up, Building a Bullying-Free Generation, was praised by the President as a timely call to action. He noted that it reflects the collective responsibility to create a safe, respectful, and inclusive environment for every child, both physical spaces like schools, communities, and online digital platforms. The President also commended state governments that have taken bold steps to advocate child welfare and call on others to follow suit. Our children are not just statistics, they are the heart of our nation, he said. Now is the time to act. President Tinubu's message reinforces ongoing national effort to ensure every Nigerian child can grow up in a safe, nurturing environment and reach their full potential as future leaders, innovators, and change makers. And similarly, as Nigeria commemorates Children's Day 2025, the country's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has called on citizens to take an active stand against bullying, describing it as a threat to the emotional and academic well-being of children. In her goodwill message today, Senator Oluremi said this year's theme, Stand Up, Building a Bullying-Free Generation, reflects a collective responsibility to nurture and protect the nation's children who represent the future of Nigeria. She appealed to Nigerians to be intentional in promoting kindness, empathy, and leadership by example. The First Lady emphasizes the damaging impact of bullying, whether in schools, communities, or online, stating that it leaves lasting wounds that hinder a child's emotional, social, and academic development. She said every child deserves to grow up in an environment that is safe, supportive, and free from fear. And the chairman of Abaji Area Council, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Abdullahi, has acknowledged the incredible potential that lies within each child in Abaji. In his message on Children's Day, he emphasized the importance of nurturing and supporting their growth. Alhaji Umar Abdullahi urged children to focus on their education as it is the foundation for a brighter future. He encouraged children to never stop learning, exploring and discovering new things, highlighting the importance of curiosity and creativity. The chairman emphasized the need for the community to work together to create a safe and supportive environment for children to thrive. Alhaji Abdullahi assured the children that his administration is committed to creating opportunities and programs that benefit them. He called on community to work together to build a brighter future for the children of Abaji, providing them with love, care, and support they deserve. Despite recognizing the challenges faced, his administration remains optimistic about the future and the potential that lies within every child. And as the world marked Children's Day, the Resource Center for Human Rights and Civic Education, CRISED, has called for immediate and decisive action to confront the dire realities facing millions of Nigerian children. In a statement today by CRISED's Program Communication Officer, Furera Ishaka, lamented that what was once an Islamic educational system has now become a troubling circle of neglect, exploitation, and suffering. CRISED therefore urged the federal, state, local government, alongside traditional and religious leaders to rise to the occasion and implement lasting solutions. The center urged authorities to fully implement the Child Rights Act of 2003 and uphold Nigeria's commitment to the UN Convention of the Rights of the Child. While some children enjoy love and celebration on Children's Day, millions, particularly in northern Nigeria, are trapped in circles of chronic malnutrition, forced begging, and lost potential. CRISED called for a total reform of the Almajiri system, advocating for its integration with formal education, vocational training, and modern curricula to empower the children for the future. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has sealed several high-profile properties in Abuja over non-payment of ground rent in a sweeping enforcement drive targeting thousands of defaulters. Among the affected properties are the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party, the Federal Inland Revenue Service Office, and a branch of Access Bank in Use District. According to the Director of Land Administration, Mr. Chijoke Nwakoeze, the enforcement follows decades of rent defaults by the affected institutions.
Just like we briefed you last Friday, the FCT administration would commence the taking of possession of the 4,794 properties revoked for non-payment of ground rent. And we started this morning. We've gone to a number of properties and sealed them, as we did say we will do. We are now at Wadata Plaza, where the PDP is occupying. That's the property belonging to Senator Samaila Maman Kofi that the PDP is occupying. I think this is the 9th or 10th site that we visited today and that we are sealing. So simply to take physical possession of the property had since March been revoked, and we've repeatedly told the holders to ensure that they vacate that, because we said it at that time that the FCTA will take possession of those properties in due course.
The operation is part of efforts to recover public revenue and ensure compliance with land use regulation under the Land Use Act, which empowers the government to revoke or restrict access to land over statutory defaults. Reacting to concerns that the sealing of the PDP headquarters might be politically motivated, the Special Assistant to the FCT Minister of Public Communication and Social Media, Mr. Larry Olayinka, dismissed such claims.
We have been to Ibro Hotel. We have been to Access Bank. We have been to FRS. We have been to Total Filling Station, Total Petrol Station. We are also still going to other places. Tomorrow we go to places on Wednesday, and this exercise will continue for as long as we are able to conclude the taking possession of those over 4,000 properties. So are we also going to say all those ones that I mentioned are for politics? More so, this place is not owned by the...
Other properties sealed during the operations include a Total Petroleum Station in Use Zone 3, Ibro Hotel Annex, Gadco, the NAPTIP building, and the Chinese Cultural Center. The efforts will continue until 4,794 identified defaulters are brought into compliance. And the same vein, in the Federal Capital Territory now have a 14-day grace period to settle their debts following a presidential intervention by President Bola Tinubu. This comes on the heels of the Federal Capital Territory Administration's enforcement action, targeting thousands of property owners owing ground rent arrests spanning over 4 decades. Usman Katim Umar has details.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration says it will begin taking over nearly 5,000 properties across Abuja from Monday, May 26, 2025. The Director of Land Administration, FCT,
did say in March this year, a little over 2 months ago, that 4,794 land titles were revoked over payment of ground rent, non-payment of ground rent from 10 years to 43 years. We did also tell you that administration and that the administration will take possession of them in due course.
He added that the affected properties had not paid ground rent for periods ranging from 10 to 43 years, leading to a revenue loss of nearly 7 billion naira. The director explained that property owners owing between 1 year and under 10 years were given additional time to pay, and compliance is still being compiled.
We gave a grace period of 21 days for property owners who were in default of payment of ground rents between 1 year and 1 day less than 10 years to comply. Some have, some have not. And we are already compiling and analyzing those data to guide decision making on those titles as well. Ground rent is a serious business, and any property owner is expected to pay it when due.
Also speaking, the Director of the Department of Development Control, Town Planner Mukhtar Usman Galadima, said the enforcement would include sealing of affected buildings and marking them as government property.
As an agent of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, come Monday, we are going to commence the process of possessing these properties by the Federal Capital Territory Administration. This includes reconnaissance visit to the areas affected and the properties concerned, and then serving the seal notice as well as sealing the premises.
Town Planner Galadima clarified that families living in any of the affected buildings were duly notified and should have made relocation arrangements by now. On legal challenges, the Senior Special Assistant to FCT Minister on Public Communication and Social Media, Mr. Lere Olayinka, confirmed that while some individuals had gone to court, no ruling has overturned the revocation of any property.
Action had been taken, and there was no court judgment, order, or directive saying that the action should not be taken. So if eventually there is now a counter action, the directive or order or judgment by the court, if of course the FCTA will comply. Where the FCTA is an agency of government that follows the law strictly. So as we are today, there is no pronouncement by the court that says those revoked properties should be reinstated. There's none.
The officials, however, assured that the FCT administration remains committed to due process and will comply with any lawful court order should it arise in the future. Usman Katun Umar, ASO Television News.
You're watching ASO TV News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, StarTimes TV channel 127, Free TV channel 507, UHF band on channel 38. And still to come on the news, Nigeria-Venezuela reaffirms their commitment to deepening economic diplomatic cooperation. Stay with us for details of this and more stories after the break.
We were warned about this marriage. Because we did not listen, a young maiden is dead.
Nana, come here. Hi. Why do you speak so freely with a stranger from Ajani?
We were just talking about offering Ojigijag a seat on the council.
You got to be praised.
Negodo say Okosisi, he has 2 wives. So why are you making it look like it is a big deal?
The Federal Ministry of Education has expressed grave concern over the persistent issue of examination malpractice within the nation's education system. This unethical practice continues to erode the integrity of academic credentials and poses a significant threat to Nigeria's human capital development. In alignment with the Renew Hope agenda of President Tinubu, the ministry reaffirms its unwavering commitment to eliminating all forms of examination malpractice across the country. The ministry actively pursues the prosecution of all offenders, working in close partnership with the Nigerian Police Force, Department of State Services, and other relevant law enforcement agencies. The Examination Malpractice Act of 1999 and other applicable laws provide the legal foundation for these decisive actions. The ministry therefore calls on all stakeholders, students, parents, teachers, school administrators, and the general public to join in this critical effort to uphold the sanctity of Nigeria's education system. The public is strongly encouraged to report any cases of examination malpractice to the appropriate authorities to restore the integrity and excellence in education institutions. Stakeholders across Nigeria's education and development sectors have thrown their support behind the Read to Lead campaign, a national initiative designed to revive and strengthen the reading culture among children, particularly those in underserved communities. The initiative, launched by Bemisola Yusuf Foundation, is rooted in the belief that early exposure to reading is critical not only for literacy development but also for cultivating leadership skills, creativity, and global awareness in young learners. Here's the report. Speaking at the campaign event, Aisha Bemisola Yusuf, founder of the Bemisola Yusuf Foundation and a key driver of the Read to Lead initiative, shared the inspiration behind the campaign.
I'm so passionate about kids. So the story behind this is that I was born in Nigeria, but I left when I was 5, and I had the privilege of growing up in England, and I was lucky to have a very good education. Now coming back to Nigeria many years after, and I've been there for like a while, and seeing the kids, and especially in the underserved community, and seeing the kids not getting the basic education they need. And I feel like it's about time we start to do something about it, because if you can't read, you can't lead. These kids are our future. We need to start taking care of them. We need to start doing something about it. So, like I said, it's very passionate to me, and I'm here for the kids, and it's all about the kids for me.
Director General of the National Orientation Agency, represented by the Special Assistant Mrs. Sherifat Adebeson, emphasized the importance of catching children young.
We expect all our children to be able to read from a very young age, not just to read, but to enjoy reading. So with this kind of campaign, if we encourage children to read for pleasure, not to read to pass exams, if they encourage to read for pleasure and to be able to explore the world, it would really help the creative thinking of our children in Nigeria.
Deputy Director at the National Library of Nigeria, Mrs. Rachel Nebo, described the campaign as more than just a project.
The Read to Lead campaign is more than a campaign, I will say that. It's a movement. It's a clear call for all Nigerians to embrace reading. You know, we are not reading. And this is a campaign that is calling on Nigerians, especially those in the hinterland, to embrace the culture of reading. We, National Library of Nigeria, in fact, it's one of our mandates. It's one of our statutory mandates to promote reading.
The Executive Secretary of Text Fund, Actor Sonny Echono, represented by Mohammed Khalil, an Assistant Director, also lent his support to the campaign.
Instilling reading culture on children at their level is the best decision someone will do. By the time you succeeded in instilling that culture into their hearts, it means they will grow with it, they will continue to read.
The target organizer of this network is creating initiative with good results. If you see how the woman she has this, she's empowering someone reading.
The Read to Lead campaign aims to foster a lifelong love of reading, bridge in educational gaps, and empower the next generation of Nigerians with knowledge and skills needed to thrive in a diverse digital world. Nigeria and Venezuela have reaffirmed their commitment to deepening economic and diplomatic cooperation. The Venezuelan ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Alberto Castella, underscored the strong historical and economic ties between both countries during a visit to Nigeria's Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, in Abuja. Ambassador Padilla commended President Tinubu for the notable progress in Nigeria's aviation sector and called for enhanced cooperation to elevate bilateral relations beyond politics and culture. A key highlight of the discussions was the announcement of plans by the Venezuelan government to establish direct flights between Caracas and Abuja, aimed at boosting business, tourism, and cultural exchange. Ambassador Padilla revealed that in 2022, both nations signed an agreement for direct flights from Caracas to Nigeria, and Venezuela is now prepared to operationalize this agreement. In response, the Nigeria's Aviation Minister Festus Keyamo expressed optimism about the proposed direct flight services, noting its potential to ease travel between Africa and South America. He announced the formation of a joint committee comprising officials from the Ministry of Aviation and the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority to expedite the approval process. The FCT Police Command has begun a comprehensive investigation, including detailed forensic analysis to ascertain the exact cause and nature of the explosion along the Maraba-Nyanya bypass. The command said it received a distress report regarding the explosion at 2:50 p.m. on Monday, May 26, 2025. A statement issued by the command spokesperson, SP Josephine Ade, revealed that upon receipt of the report, officers of the Explosive Ordnance Disposal EOD unit were immediately deployed to the scene. The affected area, SP Ade, was swiftly cordoned off for clearance and analysis to ensure the safety of commuters and residents. According to her, one male victim was rescued at the scene and promptly taken to the hospital, where he is currently receiving medical attention. The statement urged members of the public to remain calm and go about their lawful activities without fear, as there's currently no cause. Residents to remain vigilant and promptly report any suspicious persons, objects, or movements to the nearest police station or contact the command through the emergency lines. National Caretaker Committee Chairman of the Labour Party, Senator Nenadi Esther Usman, supports Peter Obi for attending the coalition meeting. Recall that the of 2023 presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi in the ongoing coalition movement against 2027 presidential election. The national focus on eradicating hunger, insecurity, and poor governance, a vision that aligns squarely with the founding principles and aspirations of the Labour Party. The statement therefore is baffling that individuals who have been shown the exit door for the anti-party activities now seek to question a move so clearly rooted in national interest. While the Labour Party wholeheartedly welcomes the coalition movement driven by the Nigerian people, the committee also reaffirmed Peter Obi's unequivocal right to contest the 2027 elections under the Labour Party platform, should the ongoing coalition efforts fail to materialize. The statement said that in view of the foregoing, the general public is hereby advised to disregard any statements emanating from the impostors masquerading as party leaders. The federal government says it has commenced payment of the 31,000 naira wage award arrears to federal government workers. A statement issued by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation that many federal government employees have confirmed receipt of the payment, adding that others that have not yet received will do so. The OAGF explained the Accountant General of the Federation, Mr. Babatunde Ogunjimi, never said the 35,000 naira wage award was excluded from 2025 budget as reported by some media, assuring that the outstanding arrears will be paid as promised by the government. It added that the payment will be done in installments of the 35,000 naira for 5 months. The Economic Community of West Africa State 50th Anniversary Celebration is set to be a momentous occasion, highlighting the regional body's remarkable achievements over the past 5 decades. According to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tilger, in a press conference at the ministry, highlighted that the event will showcase the success of the trade liberalization scheme, which has increased the volume of trade in West Africa. The event will be attended by President Tinubu and other ECOWAS heads of state and government. General Yakubu Gowon will also be among the high-level guests that will be attending the celebration, noting that ECOWAS' ability to harmonize trade, health and other issues among member states is exemplary, making it a model for international organizations. The celebration, scheduled for May 28, 2025 in Lagos, will showcase ECOWAS achievements, including the successful trade liberalization scheme, development of trade and transport corridors, and digitalizing tracking of goods. And with that, we've come to the end of the news bulletin. My name is Princess Sobra Usman.